What's up, comic book fans, and welcome to Comics Icons. Now, JJ what they call me, and today, we got a new mini-series with the first issue of Black Widow and Hawkeye. And we all know how special the relationship has been between Black Widow and Hawkeye, to the point where we're now celebrating 60 years for the two. So when Clint Barton, aka Hawkeye, is accused of an assassination attempt that puts the relationship between the US and Madripoor in jeopardy, Natasha Romanoff's first instinct is, of course, to come to his aid. But she's also got a symbiote now that can have a mind of its own at times. And if Clint is actually guilty, then she'd be an enemy of the state right alongside of him. Decisions. So if you guys are ready to find out if this classic pairing of these two legendary spies can survive this latest disaster, then you know what time it is. Let's get it. So we pick up this issue in Siberia, and this Russian assassin is on the run before he ultimately goes down and starts to get overwhelmed by these Black Widow spiders. But the spiders are then held back by their master, Natasha Romanoff, because she wants to give this guy a chance to talk for himself first. She could easily have her symbiote spiders pull the information she needs right up out of this guy. But she's always been a spy first, and she wants to do this the old school way and make him talk. But when she asks about the location of this guy's target, Clint Barton, and he tells her that he's been taken out already, she doesn't believe him, so she decides to let her spiders feed anyway. As Widow acknowledges that this symbiote is an undeniable asset. But it is a new passenger, a partner that sees her vulnerabilities like no one else, not even Clint. Then she recalls her spiders, and they begin to show her this guy's memories. She sees that he was in Madripoor, and she can see Clint, and that there was an explosion. But until she sees a body, then she has to believe that he's still alive. As then we're taken back to 24 hours ago in Madripoor, with Clint Barton on the run from that same Russian assassin. And Clint is thinking to himself that this assassin has the vibe of a guy that's gonna flay him and turn his skin into a winter coat. Just before this guy tells Clint that he's gonna skin him and collect his hide as a trophy. Clint gets right. But Clint is able to outrun this guy when he leaps off a rooftop and swings through a window. But not long after, he realizes that the assassin managed to leave a bomb attached to his back, as the Russian is then seen walking away after being prompted by the huge explosion, leading him to believe that his target had been dealt with. Then we pick up 36 hours ago, and Natasha is alone at a bar when she's then approached by Bobby Morse, who's also a spy known as Mockingbird and the ex-wife of Clint Barton. She's also one of the few people that Natasha calls friends, so she's very pleased when she meets with her. But this isn't a social call, and Natasha knows it, since she'd already seen on the news about what Clint's accused of. And Bobby confirms it when she says that she snuck away from a security detail. Then she tells Natasha that the CIA claims that she can't be objective when it comes to Clint. That whatever justification he gives, she'd believe him. And then she admits that they're right. Things between her and Clint have been going well, but now she's been placed on administrative leave to keep her out of the way while they try to kill him. That is, if the Russians don't do it first. But the only information that she has right now for Nat when she's asked for Clint's location is the name Mikhail, the Russian assassin that we met in the beginning of this issue. This guy had been arrested 8 years ago by the FSB, but CIA surveillance picked him up walking around in Moscow yesterday, and his bank account has been receiving anonymous deposits every hour since he'd been spotted. But then Bobby breaks it to Natasha that she won't be able to help her out on this mission, to which Nat already understands and doesn't require any explanation. Then Nat lets her know that she'll find Clint, and she does understand that she'll be going against the US government in doing so. But before Natasha leaves, she's got to know one thing from Bobby. Does she think that Clint is guilty? Then we're taken to 48 hours ago, as the foreign minister of Russia is being introduced in Washington, D.C. And as he begins to give his speech about the promise of Russia being committed to building a strong relationship with the U.S., an arrow is fired at the minister, Then we go back to the current moment from Clint's perspective, right after the explosion, and he wakes up in the back of an ambulance. And as Clint regains his consciousness, after thinking he was definitely a dead man, he notices that not only is he suffering from at least 4 broken bones and his brain feeling like it'd been put through a blender, but his hearing aid is now busted, adding insult to literal injury. But then the ambulance is attacked, and Clint realizes that he's about to meet the 6th assassin to come after him, as the door is ripped off and a mechanical claw swings in, clamping down on the leg of Clint, and then yanking Clint from out of the ambulance and slamming him to the ground. And just as this assassin is about to go in for the kill on Barton, the final blow is caught from behind by Natasha and her symbiote after she searched 3 different countries looking for Barton. And after we get a sick reveal of the Black Widow in full symbiote suit, she tries chewing out Hawkeye for not reaching out, but quickly realizes that he's heard none of it, as he uses sign language to greet her. But she's just excited that her friend is still breathing. We then later on see them in a hideout of Clint's, and Natasha is going on about not being able to stay there for long, with the Russians knowing where he is and the Americans not far behind. And the likely troops already on the ground in Madripoor making it hard to get over the border. But Clint is once again still missing out on all of this, as he's just now replacing his hearing aid. And as he's able to catch the tail end of what Natasha was saying about a possible contact that could help, he lets her know that he's not planning on leaving. He appreciates her coming for him, but she shouldn't have. He knows he'd be dead if she and her alien symbiote wasn't there to save him. And he makes a note that they still have to talk about that part, an alien symbiote. But he didn't want to drag her into this. If she tries telling him that this is an argument that he'd lose, just do what she's telling him to, and they'll make it. He persists, and he tells her that she doesn't understand. He needs to be in Madripoor. What's happening there, he needs to deal with, alone. But she replies that whether you've been framed or brainwashed or cloned, we'll deal with it together like we always do. He rejects this proposal and tells her that maybe he's not interested in their cycle anymore. They don't speak until one of them is in mortal danger, and then we forego everything for one another. I don't need a therapist to tell me that's not exactly healthy, Nat, he tells her. Then she accuses him of being a clone, but he's not a clone. He was there, he tells her. I was on the rooftop across from the ceremony. The minister was talking about the treaty, about his unbelievable success in rebuilding a bridge between the United States and Russia. He was talking about a more hopeful future, and that's when I did it. I am sorry, Nat. And now a shocked Natasha is like, did it? Are you saying? Yes, he tells her. The Russian minister, I shot him. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the issue. And there's also a cool little epilogue after the end of this detailing some of the history between Clint and Natasha always being there for one another. That's pretty good, so I suggest you check that out. But all in all, what did you guys think of this story? I've always been a big fan of the relationship between these two, so it was pretty nice to get a brand new miniseries for their 60th anniversary. Plus, a good spy thriller is always welcome. But why do you guys think Hawkeye assassinated this guy? Was the guy maybe not who he appeared to be? I'm curious as to what you guys' thoughts are on that one. And also, what are you guys thinking about Natasha having a symbiote now? I personally like it. I think it makes her Black Widow nickname even more lethal and literal. Plus, I thought the artwork on this issue was pretty solid as well, and I think this could be a strong series moving forward, hopefully. But as always, if you guys enjoyed this video and this channel, and you'd like to support the channel, then you could do so by joining the Iconic Fan Club channel membership. And I'll make sure that there's a link in the description to join, but with your membership, you'll gain access to weekly interactive live streams with yours truly. And we could talk about everything going down in these issues, as well as other issues that you'd like for me to go over in the future and other comic book news as well. Plus, you guys will get loyalty badges, member shoutouts, and more in these videos. Or you guys could donate to the channel with a super thanks. And if you're not able to do any of that, then you can still be a huge help to the channel by dropping a like. share, and subscribe in the Comics Icons for more icons in the comic book world. But ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time. I'm out. Peace.